Today, let's go ahead. We'll be talking about something interesting and probably I think this is something we do on a daily basis. Then we'll talk about parallel development. So when different teams are involved or when different people are involved in order to build an application, how would we do it? Right? Probably they might need to work on the same rules. Now, I cannot say that one team has to wait until the other team completes, or one developer has to wait until the other developer completes. It's not a good approach. But how can I handle them separately, or how can I let the developments go hand in hand without any interruptions? Right? That's part of your parallel development. Okay, and definitely parallel development is essential because I cannot say that you have to stop until the other developer completes his work. Of course, we have check-ins, checkouts, and private edit. Those are agreed. But in order to uh, avoid conflicts, or in order to make sure the development is going smooth, we have to look at parallel development aspects. Okay, so that's where we talk about something called as branch application today. So we'll talk about branches, right? So where I think this terminology is quite familiar when you say the master and when you say branches. So master has the entire repository of the code, whereas branches are specific to each team of development that is carried out. So let's talk about how this parallel development can be achieved on the Pega platform. Okay. So I think let me show you with this image where HR is an application. Okay. Now assume team A and team B are working on enhancing the HR application. For example, HR A is working on the UI enhancements. HR B is working on some new functionality. Now, both of them are important. I cannot say team A to wait until team B completes his work, and vice versa. I should not say that. So now, how do we achieve that both of the teams are working parallelly? And how do I make sure that the conflicts are very minimal? Right? I cannot say I will entirely avoid conflicts. I will have zero conflicts. No, but how can I avoid, or how can I make sure the conflicts are minimal? So we'll be talking about that, right? So we have a process involved. There is you can say there's a step-by-step process that is involved here in order to build or work on the parallel development. So let's see. So there are 5 steps involved. Step 1. Create a team application built on main application. So let's say your HR is the main application. Now create different team level applications. So how many teams you have? So those many team applications should be built. Okay, good. They should not be just built randomly. They have to be built on the main application. Right? So your main application is, you can consider it as a framework. Okay? The main application is going to be the built-on application. Okay, then create one or more development branches in the team application. Now you start creating branches on the team application. How many should you create? So depending upon the approach, like you can create a separate branch for each of your developers. You can create a branch for each of the stories or each of the requirements. So likewise, you can create branches on the teamed application. Okay, good. Now, grant access to the team application. Providing the necessary access is important. Okay, like initially developers will only have access to the main application, correct? But now, as you have separate team applications, provide access to the team applications now. Instead of just the main, also provide access to the team application. Okay. Right. So then I have fourth step is create or configure rules. So once you get access to the main application, what you do is start doing your development work. Okay. Create your rules, or if you would like to modify some rules, yes, you can modify it, but use the branch for it. Okay. So we will get an option to choose where you would like to configure the rule. Okay. So in that case, you should choose the branch this time. Then the last one is, once your development is complete, once you make sure your requirement is satisfied, you tested it, everything is good, then we have to merge this into the main application. Okay, so we merge the branches into the main application and make sure the conflicts, if any, should be resolved. So you can see the conflicts on the wizard, and if you see any conflicts, yes, they have to be resolved. Okay, so this is the typical process that we follow in order to make sure parallel processing is handled. Okay, I think let's see how do we do this. We'll see each one of this in detail, and parallelly we will also work on it. Okay, right. So what does it say? The step one. If you look at step one in detail, I could do this. I could just save as the base or the team, the main application, and I can create a team application. That's what I should do now. Okay, so let me go back. So let us log in. I think this particular operator has access to two applications, the HR framework and HR implementation. So I think we'll use one access group, and we'll use one application which has most implementation in it. Okay, so this is my HR services application 1.2.1. Okay, right. I only see HRS administrator. Okay, fine. Then I think there's only one application for this particular user. I think we did not give him the access to the other new version that is created. Okay, fair enough. Now what would I do is the first step, create a new application built on the main application. Okay, yes, here is my application. Let me do I'm going to do a quick save as, and now I would like to name so let us name it some enhancement or feature related application. This is HR services. Okay. And let me also check what about the rule sets. Okay, so 010101, and it has some checked out rules already. Okay, I'll just discard this so that no checked out rules are available. I'd like to discard all those checked out rules, or if at all there's anything on the private edit, I'll discard all of them. Okay, fine. Yes, no checked out rules. Fine. I mean, just making sure that nothing goes wrong. Refresh. So I don't have any checked out rules. Okay, now let me create. Save as. Let us name this application as HR services feature. Okay, and I can let the version be 010101. HRS feature is fine. This application has to be built on okay. I'm going to change the URL as okay. Now I'm going to save it, but instead of UIKit this time it has to be HRS or the HR service application. HRS 010101. Okay. And which version are we looking at? I think two versions are available. Let's go with 0101. The other one, because we did this lock and roll. Remember? The third option is lock and roll. Create a new version of my application. Yes, the first step of creating a team application, yes, the built-on application is my base application, HRS. Yes, I am good with this. Then, step 2 is creating branch in the teamed application. Step 2 says, now create your branches on the teamed application. And we should be a little careful while creating the branch names, because the branch names are applicable across the node. So on the node, whatever applications you have, whatever branches you have, everything would be available. So we should make sure the branch names are as unique as possible. To the point. What is it regarding? If it's relating to story numbers, that's much better. But otherwise also we can create the branch names. So on the development branches, I clicked on add branch. What is the name of the branch that you would like to have? I'll name it UI feature. I'll name it UI feature HRS. Okay, let me submit. Yes, so here I got a branch. You can create multiple branches. Like I said, it could be for each story or it could be for each developer in your team. Likewise. Okay. Right. For now, yes, a branch is created. Okay. Next, what is step 3 is provide access. Correct? So provide access to this teamed application because it's an entirely new application now. I should let my developers access it. Okay. So let's create an access group. So I would like to save as the existing HRS access group and I'll provide access to the new application. Okay, admin, this time admin feature, HRS feature. Okay, but make sure you're pointing onto the right application, to the HRS feature, and make sure to the right version. We only have one version, so this should be good. Okay, now the access group is created. Make sure the users, the developers are pointed to the right application. So what should I do is I'll go back to my admin and instead of, or along with HRS this time, let's add HRS feature also. Yes. And I'm going to save it. Okay. And where did we create the branch? Is it on the teamed application or on the main application? Yeah, it's on the teamed application. So now the access is provided. Good. Now once I get the access, I can start working on my rules, but make sure you save it onto the branch. Okay. So if you are dealing with an existing rule that you have to modify, what you should do is save that rule into the branch and then work on it. Okay. Whereas if you have to create new rules, directly create it into the branch. So let's see how can we do that. But before that, let me switch to the branch application. Okay, so here I'm on the branch application. Right, so let's assume I'll create some new rules. Then I'll also modify some existing rules. Okay, let's create some new rules. I'm going to just create some properties. Okay, but why do I not see any rule set? I mean, branch rule set so far. I only see HRS. I should see a branch here. Let us check if it's, or did we even save the application definition? I don't think we saved, right? We created a branch, but we did not save, I guess. Let's check. Okay, seems like we did not save it. Okay, let me just add a branch. UI feature chance. Okay. Yes. So now I'll go ahead, because on this teamed application, I have a branch. Let's create some. Right. So now you see, I have a development branch here corresponding to this application. So here you get to see a list of all the available branches. So like I said, based upon a story, based upon the feature, based upon the developers, we can create multiple branches. Okay, let me add sample. This is part of a development branch, UI feature HRS. You can choose the appropriate class. Okay, I've created a property. Let's create some more rules. Maybe a data transfer. So here if you see, the rule set says HRS, but it's a branch rule set. Right? Okay, then I'll create a data transform. A sample DT. Okay. Okay, I'll set some sample only. Okay, again, this is also part of HRS rule set. Okay, so two new rules are created. Let's manipulate some existing rules. So how would I work on the existing rules? If I have to update, I think there's a decision table. Okay, let's. Okay. Now this is part of the HRS 010101. Now, if I have to work on this, save as into your new branch rule set, UI features. Okay, for example, I would like to some change this to okay, I would like to which are available on the branch rule set, and it is also checking it, work in progress. Yes, right. Again, I mean, even if I check in and check out also, it's still part of the branch rule set only. Okay. So 3 rules were handled, 2 new rules, and 1 existing rule is modified. I think let's also change some existing when rule. Okay, go to the branch again. And I have to check in it. Okay, so 4 rules have been handled, 2 new and 2 old. Okay, for example, my requirement is done. I made all the testing, it is all working fine, everything looks good. Then what should I do? What's step 5? Merging the changes from a branch rule set. Okay, so merging has a separate wizard. Right? So using this wizard, I'll be able to look at the statistics. I mean, like how many rules have been updated, how many have been modified, by whom, and are there any conflicts? So I'll be able to see all of them here. Okay, so let's check. In order to do that, let me go back to my branch. So once you click on the branch, you can look at the branch quality. Yeah. Yes, here is the content on the branch. 4 rules. You can see the type, a table, addition table, a DT, a property, a when rule. Part of the rule set, you can see the class and who updated it. And you can also see whether it's any checked out or not. Ideally, these 2 are checked out, but I've also checked in the rules. Okay. Now, you have the actions tab here where you can merge, you can package, you can delete, you can refresh. Okay, let me, but before that, let us look at the branch quality also before merging itself. Right, so this is the branch quality. Guardrail score is 100, but there are like 2 warnings. And what does it say? The test coverage, the unit tests. There are no unit tests for 3 rules, right? I mean, your decision table, when condition, and the DT. So they did not have any unit test cases. So the system is saying the test coverage is 0. Okay, there are no 3 supported rules, but no unit testing. So we have to make sure all the unit test cases are created, right? And only then it is suggested that we merge it with the main branch. Okay, and there are some warnings. So relating to maintainability, uncovered rules, 3 rules were not covered with any unit test cases. And if at all there are any failed scenarios, you get to see this. Rules without unit tests. So I think I should see all the 3. Yes. So make sure we do the unit testing. Make sure it is all the test cases are successful. Only then proceed to the merging. Okay. For now, let us just proceed. Let us click on merge. Okay, which branch are you going to merge? Yes, UI feature HRS. Let me proceed. So this will open up another wizard for me. So this wizard, yes, this wizard is showing me some conflicts. Yes, there are like two conflicts, 0 warnings, and those new rules that you create, should they be part of an existing rule set, or are you looking at creating them in a new rule set? Right, so you can choose that as well. So let's see, what conflicts do I have? Okay, so it says cannot be merged because a rule in a lower version has been updated more recently than when the checkout was created. Okay, if you remember, O2 O1 is something that this user does not have access to, right? So it says we cannot merge because we have updated O1 O1 O1. Okay, so yes, there is a conflict here. Let's look. Okay, for now, what I would like to do is, okay, so this user does not have access to this anyways. So, one, I would like to change the privilege. Now HR is O2O1. Now let's see if this user has got access to change. Okay, I think still still a conflict. Can I? Okay, let's go back once. Let's check once if it's still showing the same error. Yes, because of O2O1. O1? Yeah. So this is part of O2O1. Okay, I think my bad. I should have used this from O1 O1 O1. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll delete this rule in the branch. Here, your salary scale, if you see, where is this? Just, I think salary scale we got from O1 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 only, but this we got from O2 O1 O1. Okay, let's check. Let's take something else. Okay, this is also part of O2 O1 O1. Now this again, I think, yeah, both of them are from O2 O1 O1 only. Okay. I think I'll delete this also. So instead, this time what I'll do is I'll take it from 010101. Yes, here is my HRS 010101. This I will save as to the new rule set. Move to check in. Okay, and then any okay decision table. This time it is from 010101. I'm going to save as. I mean, ideally, 020101 should not be existent for this user, right? Because he doesn't have access to it. Yes. I will have to check in it back. Okay, now let's see. Where is my branch? Okay. So obviously the content is going to be the same, but what about merge? Still conflicts. Okay. It still says okay. 020101. A rule in the lower version has been updated more recently when the checkout was created. Let's compare. Okay, let's look at thing, but still would it show? Because again the 020101 is updated. Yes, it would still show. So what we'll do is we'll try to compare, or you can just mark it as resolved. Okay, so if you observe the comparison, so instance 1, instance 2, initially it's part of 010101, part of 020101. Now this one is part of branch rule set. This is part of HRS. Okay, value is changed from 1 lakh to 15. I mean 1,50,000. Okay, I think those are the changes that we made. So if you think this is appropriate, I think we can go ahead. We can mark it as result. Okay, for now I'm okay, even if it's 020101 is the latest version, but still we made changes on 010101, which again is against the practice, right? Still considering that 020101 is not applicable for this user. Let us mark it as resolved. Okay, so 2 conflicts are there, 2 are resolved and with 0 warnings and no checked out rules. Now, do you like to move it into a new version called some O2, O1, O2? Yes, O2, O1, O2, as in it will be listed below this. Okay, are you looking to create it in a new version, or would you just have it in any of the existing versions? I think we'll create it in a new version. We'll see whether all 4 rules are created or not. Okay, let's check that. We'll create a new version only, and let us also lock it. And I would like to keep all the source rules and rule sets after merging. If in case you would like to delete them, you can uncheck this, but let us have it, all the source rules. If you want all those rules that we created, if you don't want them on the UI feature rule set, you can disable this. But now what I've chosen is I want all the rules and the rule sets to be available even after it is merged. So ideally what we do is we make changes in the branch, and once the execution is successful, the functionality is working fine, we just move them into the main application. I mean, once we merge it, it's moved into the main application, making the branch empty, ideally. So that every time you add new rules onto the branch, you will have a fresh count of it, so that other previous ones will not be accumulated. Okay. But for now, if required, we can let it be, or we can just discard it, so that your branch becomes clean once you merge, once you finish the merge. Okay. Let's see, we'll merge it, we'll see what happens. So this activity is something that is performed on a daily basis, right? Or at least once in any couple of days. The earlier, the better. You will have lesser conflicts and you will have to spend less time in order to resolve the conflicts. So it says all rules merged successfully. Source from the branch rule set to your target HRS, the new version 010101, which is locked. 4 rules were merged. And you can see this is like a separate case type. You will get a case ID PXW4. You see the status, result completed, when, who, right? You get to see this. You can see the merge results also. And so each rule level of result can be checked here. The rule name, class, the new version that is available, and the availability of the rule. I think we'll look into the rule set, whether a new rule set is available. Let us refresh this. Yes, there's O2, O1, O2 with 4 rules that were just merged from the UI feature branch. Yes, 4 rules are available. 3 minutes ago. Right? Yes, so that's how we'll be able to merge rules from the development branches to your main application. And also, I think I'll show you that I mean, we did not enable that checkbox, right? So all my source, the rules that were part of HR feature should be removed. So it should be empty ideally now. Let's, I think I'll refresh this once. We'll check. All right. So you see there's no content currently because we have removed the rules. It's just like you cut and paste. If I enable that checkbox, you will have all those 4 rules listed out here. Okay. Really, it is good that we clean it as and when you merge it, the branch would get cleaned. It's more of a good practice to do that, so that all those rules will be accumulated. It's not necessary that I should create it as a new rule set. I can even choose any of the existing rule sets also. Okay, but to be very clear, like how many rules have been merged and what new things were added, instead we created it as a separate rule set version. Okay, so to be very clear of whether all the rules have been merged successfully or not. Okay, so this is something we probably do on a regular basis. Once the separate teamed applications are created, now I can start creating my own branches. I can keep on working on them, merge them depending upon the stories and my sprint or iteration. So you can have one branch for each of the developer. Okay, and as and when you work on your stories, you finish it, you merge it. So again, your a branch will be, it will be empty. You take up another story, you finish it, you merge it. Likewise, we can continue that cycle. In few projects I've observed, they don't create teamed applications, they directly create branches. So that's one approach they follow. So there's no built-on application and all. Directly on the base application itself, they can create branches. So that's another approach typically followed in projects. So, but ideally, this is the good one. Separate applications so that you don't impede the main one. I think that's all about teamed applications.